Good morning. It's April 26th. I have my bun with me. April 26th is about 4:30 in the morning as usual. And I realized the other day that I never quite finished my story of transitioning from my full-time job at the museum to going back to running my own business and how that happened. Yeah, so I don't really remember where I left off, but basically I finally made the decision. I went in and, well, I talked to my family, and then I went in and I talked to the director that Monday. So Saturday I made the decision to leave and start my business back up. Sunday I talked to my family, and Monday I went in and talked to the director, and she was amazing. They were just so supportive. I told everybody, and they were sad. I mean, we're such a tight-knit group. We're so close that it was like telling your family that you're moving or leaving, and breaking the band apart. It was hard, but the whole time I started to sleep better. I knew it was the right decision. It just was difficult. Yeah, so yeah, it was interesting. As soon as I made that decision, wow, everything just kind of changed in my brain, everywhere. It was really interesting. And I mean, there's nothing like knowing you made the right decision when you sleep better and you're not stressed and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't have the weight of that on me anymore. And I was very excited about starting my business back up. I really, really missed running my own business. I missed all of it. I missed going to market. I missed talking to people about my stuff that, my soap that I worked so hard on and formulated recipes and standardized, and the research and the knowledge. And I don't know, I just loved it. So the scary thing is I had the plan of staying full time at the museum for, 6 to 8 weeks, or however long it, if however long it takes you to find my replacement. I can kind of train them and, kind of give them a little bit of, I kind of just jumped right into the job without anyone training me on anything. And I kind of had to figure everything out myself. So we were all trying to figure out everything. At the time, it was a really wild time at the museum, lots of new people, and we were all trying to figure out what was happening, and what exactly our job was. So it was interesting, but I figured I'll stay and I'll train the next person, and I'll at least give them all my documents and everything I've come up with in my programs and stuff like that. But the director said, like, when I was in her office talking to her that day, in my mind, I thought I had 8 more weeks. Okay, 8 more weeks of full-time pay, health insurance, vacation time, all of the benefits. I mean, full package. It was the most I've ever had in my life. And, but I'm sitting in her office and she's like, we're not going to hire anyone, at least not now. She's like, so you can go part-time whenever would be great, just, and money wise. And so I left the office like, I just, not lost, but I just dropped my full-time job. I just did it. That's an actual thing that happened. And I was like, oh, okay. So now I have a part-time job, and I really need to figure out, and obviously I'm not making any money from soap because I hadn't even done anything, you know what I mean? Like, so okay, so my initial plan was work 8 weeks at the museum full-time, take my time, find a part-time job. I live up in the North Country. There is not a lot of jobs. You either work fast food or, a grocery store, like Price Chopper, or you have like a career in like maybe a university or a hospital or a school. I mean, there's not a lot of options. So I was going to take my time and find a good part-time job that I actually enjoyed, build my soap business up, try to earn money that way, kind of like take my time and do it the right way. But I suddenly walked out being like, oh, crud. Okay, I am part-time and I just lost all my benefits. I have no health insurance. Okay, what am I going to do? Even with that, I still blindly just knew that everything was going to be okay. Yeah, so I started to look for part-time jobs. I had been looking, so to be honest with you, I knew what was out there, which was not much. There was a little mom and pop health food grocery store in Canton, New York, and they had on their website that they were looking for store associates. You never quite know if it's updated or not. You know how we don't always go on and update things on the internet. So that literally was the only place in the whole entire area, I mean, the whole entire county, which is a huge county, that I would be even the slightest bit interested in. I was nervous because I've done restaurant and I've done fast food. I've done coffee shop. I worked at Starbucks. I've done all of that and I did not want to go back. One of my rules in life is don't move backwards, always move forwards. That doesn't necessarily mean always making more and more money. It has nothing to do with money, which is a huge thing that I learned. Wow, how little I care about having money. I want to be able to pay my bills comfortably without panicking or stressing that I can't pay my bills. But other than that, I'm like, you know, I just, money is not, I should say it this way, money is not a motivator for me. Yeah. So anyways, I was like, okay. And, you know, 3 days later, I signed papers to lose my health insurance. And it all became very real and very scary. But I also really buckled down and I started talking to the Small Business Development Center about my business. And I went to some free seminars that they had on, you know, building your business. And I met one-on-one with a counselor there. And I decided while I had a little bit of income from the museum left, even working part-time, which, you know, really within the next couple weeks, I would work like 4 days instead of 5. And then the next week I would work 3 days. So I didn't like, boom, all of a sudden not go into the museum. It kind of dwindled down. So for a few weeks there, I had some good paychecks. So I took that money and I invested in my business. I had to buy some supplies. And I also decided to do a website because this time around with my business, instead of just soaps, Atta Girl soaps, I wanted to incorporate all of my passions, because I'm very passionate about yoga and I'm very passionate about obviously eating whole food, plant-based lifestyle. But yeah, so that's kind of what it became, is I branched it out into Atta Girl Living on my YouTube channel here. My website is that Atta Girl Life, and it encompasses everything. I also teach art. I'm an artist. I'm a painter. I love drawing, really anything. But I'm a figure painter, an oil painter, and I teach art to kids. So that's eventually going to be on my website as well. So I really wanted to make it much more than just soap. I wanted to make it this whole world, this whole, you know, lifestyle without sounding, you know, I don't know, fancy or whatever, like an influencer, not that, but just more like making it this whole world. So that was exciting, kind of revamping my small soap business to think bigger. So I still felt okay. I knew I was on the right path. It just was a very smoky gray area that I couldn't quite see, even though I knew my path was there and I knew what to do. I just had to work. I just had to work it out. So I put in my resume to, they're called Nature's Storehouse in Canton. I had only been in there a few times. The people were so lovely. Every time I went in, so sweet. They say hi to you when you walk in. They say goodbye when you leave. It's just such a sweet, small town, mom and pop, health food. Everything's organic. Everything, it's all the stuff that I eat. It's amazing. So I knew I would fit in there. I was just hoping I would actually enjoy it. Doing that kind of job. I've never worked in a grocery store before. So anyways, I put in my resume and, I didn't really hear anything. And so a week or so later, I called them and they're like, oh yeah, the owners are just on vacation or they're out of town or something and they're coming back in a few days. And that's when we were going to start calling people. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So, still in limbo, still kind of waiting to find out. Meanwhile, at the museum, I'm kind of like handing in documents. We're getting things in order. I'm having little meetings with people just to catch them up on things. And this is, just kind of pass on my information, but I'm cutting down my hours. Yeah, and I'm just kind of trying to get everything in order. So anyways, I did end up getting the job at Nature Storehouse. I applied one place and I got the job. So thank goodness. And that was another sign. I'm like, obviously this is what I was meant to do. I was meant to work at the museum. I was meant to be the educator there. But I also was meant to do this. I've learned so much from everything I've done in life. And, I try to use all of it all the time. So yeah, so I got the job at Nature Storehouse and so what I do now is I still am at the museum one day a week. Every Thursday morning, I teach their homeschool art class. I told the director, I had a couple tours to wrap up and I said, I'll do those because I committed to those. That's great. And those are done. And the homeschool art program goes until the middle of May. And so I said, if you can't find anyone to take over the art program, or the art class, then I will still do that. So I'm still doing that. And I think I found someone to take over for next year, which is wonderful because I'm going to be done with the museum completely the middle of May, which is just a couple weeks. But yeah, so I'm still at the museum a little bit on Thursday. I work 3 days at the storehouse, and then I have 3 days. How many days is that? So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm at the storehouse. Thursday, I'm at the museum. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I work on my soap and try to take a little time off. But yeah, so, it's pretty, and the storehouse is amazing. Oh my word. You guys, they're so sweet. They are just so kind and they're such weirdos like me and I love it. I fit right in there. You have to be a little bit off, I think, to work there. And I love them. They're great. We get along wonderfully. And the owners are so sweet. Oh my word. They're just so kindness and genuine, like, being genuinely kind is really what I care about the most. And I just love it. I love it. They make it a nice place to work. The customers are all nice. It's just wonderful. So I'm really loving it. And, I know some of them watch this. So hi guys, I love working with you. Yeah, it's been wonderful. The transition, has been pretty smooth, actually, pretty smooth. I still get to see my friends at the museum on Thursdays. Yeah, so it's been great. And my business has been doing well. My website, that I did is looking great. And, I'm adding new things all the time. Market starts in a couple weeks. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to get back out into the public and talking to people. I really love it. It's one thing I love about all the jobs I've had have been very social. I'm not social in the sense that I always go out with friends and do things. I'm social in the sense that, like, I love people. I really do. I know we have our faults, but what it comes down to is I really love people and I love chatting with them and helping them. And so, yeah, so all the jobs I've had, it's always been where, I can chat and help. And that's what I like doing. Yeah, so I guess that's about it. That's where I am right now. And, yeah, I'm just kind of making product and, you know, trying to get good at this social media thing. I'm not a big social media person. So I'm trying to get myself on a schedule. But I really do like doing these journals because, again, like I said earlier, it's a nice, authentic way for me to share my story and the struggles, because, you know, living this lifestyle of whole food plant-based is not always easy, because we don't live in a world set up for you to make the healthy choice. It's not normal to not eat certain things. It's definitely better than it was. I mean, the choices are there. When you go to the stores, you have so many more choices. But it's not, you know, it's still not completely normal to not eat certain things. And that's okay, whatever. I've never been normal. I have no interest in being normal. So, yeah, so I guess that's kind of what I don't know what I wanted to say. Yeah, so there's my story, if you can kind of piece it together from the other videos. So I think what I'm going to do now is, the gym doesn't open till 7, which is so late. I'm like, oh my goodness. And our coffee shop up here doesn't open, I think, till 8 on the weekend. I guess I have to try to relax or find something to do for the next 2 hours until the gym opens. But, oh well. Oh, the struggles in life. Okay, I guess that's it for me, guys. All right, everyone have an amazing day. And we'll check in later. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.